What's going on YouTube? This is SG1 Sports and we're continuing our mid-season college football predictions. Today we're going to be doing the Big 12. We picked out 4 teams: Oklahoma State, TCU, and Texas. And then we'll be showing the rest of those teams on Friday. So here is Oklahoma. This is how I thought their season would go originally. I had them losing to Ohio State and actually won that game. And then the game against Iowa State, I don't think anybody really saw that one coming, really out of nowhere, after a bye week too. So you take those two games, switch them around. So overall, as far as the overall record goes, I'm still looking pretty good, still perfect so far. And then you look at the second half of the season, and we're not going to change anything at all. I'm going with the exact same predictions for the second half of the season that I did preseason. So Kansas State on the road, that might be a tricky game, but Kansas State just hasn't looked near as good as I thought they would this year. So I do like Oklahoma to go in there on the road and take care of business. Then they have Texas Tech. That game should be a shootout, should be a good one. I like Oklahoma to come out of there and win that game as well. And then there's the game that I predicted preseason that they would lose, and I'm going to stick to it. Oklahoma State, I think, is still a really, really good football team. They are still in contention for a college football playoff spot. Looking like, they could get to that Big 12 championship game. It's on the road, so I think, rivalry game, everything, all the ingredients are there for Oklahoma State to pull off this win in what should be one of the best games of the season, I think. I think it'll be a good one. So, yeah, we're going to go with Oklahoma State in that game. And then TCU coming in next. You all know TCU is currently undefeated. I like Oklahoma to win that game. I think it'll be a tough, hard-fought game. I think Oklahoma in the end is going to just be able to make a play late with Baker Mayfield in a game that really could go either way. But I'm going to stick to my gut. My preseason feeling on this game is that Oklahoma would win it at home. So we're going to stick with that and go with the Sooners. Next game after that will be Kansas. That should be an easy win for Oklahoma. And then they close things out with West Virginia at home. That's going to be another tough game. I do like Oklahoma to pull it out. If I'm 50-50, if I'm on the fence, I'm usually going to lean towards my preseason predictions. So that's kind of what we're doing here. I'm just going to stick with what we said preseason. Again, we missed the Ohio State game. That was a surprise to me. And then obviously the Iowa State game was a huge surprise. I think that one surprised everybody. So I think with this, they would have 2 conference losses. Would it be enough to get to the Big 12 championship game? Well, you'll have to watch the other videos that I do and see how I'll have all the other teams finishing. And then that'll tell you whether or not I have Oklahoma getting to the Big 12 championship game. So Oklahoma gets it done in every game except Oklahoma State the rest of the way. And that is going to give them a 10-2 record. So preseason, my predictions for Oklahoma were 10-2. As far as the overall record goes, I had them at 8-1 in the conference. So we're going to keep the 10-2 overall. We're going to scratch out the 8-1, and now their new conference record I'm predicting is 7-2. So it's a tough schedule. West Virginia, TCU in there. It's going to be tough for them to get to 10-2. I definitely don't see Oklahoma going 11-1. I think there's at least one loss in there in that second half of the schedule. It's just too tough of a schedule, and they've been a little, too inconsistent. They lose to Iowa State. They struggled a little bit against Baylor. Texas came down to the wire. So I think this is a good football team, but I don't think it's a playoff team. And I think in the end, they're going to only win 9 or 10 games. We're going to stick to the high side of that and go with 10-2. What do you think about Oklahoma? Go ahead and leave a comment down below. What do you think the final record will be for Oklahoma in the regular season? We'll see how it plays out. But that's going to do it for this video. Again, we're going to continue with Texas, Oklahoma State, and TCU later today. I'll cover the other Big 12 teams on Friday when I do my Big 12 championship predictions. So watch out for those videos on Friday. And thanks for watching this one. Stay tuned for more here on the SG1 Sports YouTube channel.